Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats because today we're embarking on a journey through the shadows, where wealth is the key to unlocking doors that remain firmly closed for others. In a world where not all are equal and rules often bend to accommodate the affluent, we'll explore countries where the rich can script their own tales of power, excess, and at times, audacious impunity. From European surprises to exotic tax havens to the peculiar concept of affluenza, our expedition will unravel the intriguing stories lurking beneath the surface. So, fasten your seatbelts and click that subscribe button as we unveil the 10 countries where the rich can do almost anything they please. Number 10. Spain. Now, I know you might be raising an eyebrow at the sight of a European country on this list, but trust me, Spain's recent history has seen a surge in corruption that can't be ignored. We're talking about Spain's largest ever corruption trial, the infamous Malaya case, which concluded just a few years ago. In this staggering case, 53 individuals were convicted of a slew of crimes, ranging from breaching planning laws to real estate fraud, bribery, and money laundering. But here's the jaw-dropping part. A mind-boggling €670 million exchanged hands in bribes during the 90s. The mastermind behind this elaborate scheme was none other than Juan Antonio Roca, a man who transformed himself from being unemployed to a multi-millionaire in just over a decade. His vast empire included a staggering collection of 130 properties, luxurious mansions, vintage cars, thoroughbred racehorses, and even a warehouse crammed with priceless artwork. Spain, it turns out, has more to its story than its famous flamenco and delectable paella. Number 9. Thailand. Now let's talk about Thailand, where it seems like everything comes with an affordable price tag, and if you're wealthy enough, there's almost nothing you can't get your hands on. Just last year, the Prime Minister himself faced corruption charges, and Thailand's police force isn't exactly known for its squeaky clean reputation either. They have a knack for conveniently looking the other way when money talks. But perhaps one of the most striking examples of corruption can be found in the fishing industry, which has essentially fallen under the control of a few shadowy shell companies, turning it into an incredibly profitable venture. Number 8. Belize. Tax havens. They're practically a given on a list like this, and Belize happens to be one of the prime choices for the world's wealthy elite to park their surplus wealth. But what sets Belize apart in this realm is the almost uncanny way that everything here has a price that can be paid off as a bribe to the right government official. It's a place where, if you're looking for swift residency, all it takes is a payment ranging from $15,000 to $30,000 and you're in the club. Need a permit for a vehicle on one of the islands? $3,000 and consider it done. Now, we're not endorsing any of this. But if you're curious to see the kind of lifestyle that money can buy in Belize, there's even a TV series called Mad Dogs, set in this picturesque yet somewhat shadowy paradise. The storyline is engaging, but it also offers a glimpse into the extravagant lifestyle that money affords you in Belize. It's a place where financial resources can bend the rules and open doors that might remain shut for others. Number 7. Panama. You've likely heard about the infamous Panama Papers scandal, but despite the global uproar it caused, Panama remains a place where wealth holds significant sway. It's not just a tax haven, it's a territory where special interests exert remarkable control over nearly every industry. Take, for instance, a recent attempt by one of the prominent publications in Panama to shed light on a company extracting gold from the picturesque mountains of Cocle. This company, allegedly operating without government intervention, has extracted billions of dollars worth of gold and copper from Panama's soil since 2009. However, what's truly striking is how quickly this story was silenced, sparking protests from the local community. The company in question, Petaquilla Minerals, is headquartered in Vancouver, Canada, further underscoring how international interests can intertwine with local corruption. Panama is a vivid example of a place where money can seemingly eclipse even the most critical issues, pushing them into the shadows to protect the interests of the powerful. Number 6. Colombia. Colombia is a country where wealth can rewrite your family's destiny. With enough financial resources, you can sway city officials to grant you billion-dollar contracts, often from the State Department. The most striking example? The colossal embezzlement scandal at Colombia's primary oil refinery. This scandal, known as the reefer car scandal, stands as Colombia's largest corruption case, with an astonishing $4 billion vanishing into thin air. What's even more astounding is that a staggering $60 million of this sum allegedly went toward prostitutes. Yes, you read that correctly. Reefer Car, one of South America's largest oil refineries, responsible for half the country's exports, embarked on a modernization project initially budgeted at $3.3 billion. However, the final cost skyrocketed to an astounding $8.016 billion, equivalent to 1.5 times the cost of widening the Panama Canal. And, to add to the scandal, $60 million was reportedly spent on sex workers. All of this unfolded while the taxpayer was left to foot the bill, as the blame shifted from one party to another. Colombia serves as a vivid illustration of how immense wealth can translate into unchecked power, permitting individuals and corporations to bend the rules and wield extraordinary influence. Number 5. Dominican Republic. In the Dominican Republic, the path to influence and immunity is clear. Buy yourself a seat in the government. It's a country where the average salary hovers around a mere $250 to $350. Now, let's juxtapose that with the salary of politicians, which is nothing short of astonishing. These high-ranking officials rake in an eye-popping $13,000 per month. Even lower-level politicians enjoy a substantial monthly income, often exceeding $10,000. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. These politicians frequently engage in activities like owning ghost companies that conveniently win auctions and then mysteriously vanish. What's truly astounding is that not a single politician has been imprisoned or even brought to trial, despite incontrovertible evidence of shocking fraud and corruption. In the Dominican Republic, money buys you not only influence but also what appears to be ironclad immunity from the law. It's a stark illustration of how wealth can distort the fabric of a society, creating disparities that are difficult to reconcile. Number 4. The Middle East. The Middle East presents a complex landscape with a mix of countries grappling with their own corruption challenges. While it's crucial to recognize the region's diversity, it's impossible to ignore the influence of money in places like Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Libya, and Sudan. Here, war can be exceptionally profitable, and money serves as the lifeblood of these conflicts. Institutions exist to combat corruption, but they often fall short. Anyone with sufficient access to capital can carve out a piece of the pie, contributing to instability and ongoing struggles in the region. It's a situation where international interests and local corruption intertwine, leading to challenges that extend far beyond national borders. In many of these countries, the power of wealth takes precedence over efforts to establish transparent governance. In African countries, particularly in sub-Saharan regions, the influence of money is a defining factor in shaping power dynamics. Here, it's not just about wealth, it's about how money can buy you a personal army or militia, ensuring your safety and securing your interests. Somalia stands out as a glaring example, currently ranking as the most corrupt country globally. You may even have heard of the infamous Somalian pirates who sought riches through hijacking ships. Even in more developed nations like South Africa, where strides have been made in various sectors, there are undeniable instances of corruption. A striking example lies in the financial success of former South African President Jacob Zuma and his network of wealthy associates. These individuals accumulate fortunes, illustrating how money can open doors to unchecked influence and perpetuate disparities within society. The ability to fund and control private security forces, militias, or even elements of the military further showcases the power that wealth holds in shaping the destinies of individuals and nations. Number 2. Mexico. Mexico serves as a prime destination for the world's wealthy elite, who funnel money into the country for various ventures, including hotels, resorts, mining companies, and extensive land acquisitions. However, it's not just the allure of investment opportunities that draws them. It's the widespread corruption that permeates Mexican society. While these dealings may not always be publicly acknowledged, there's no denying the deep-rooted corruption present. A case in point is the scandal involving the former Mexican president, Enrique Peña Nieto. He publicly apologized for a staggering revelation: his wife's acquisition of a $7 million mansion through a favored government contractor. The journalist who unearthed this story faced retaliation and surveillance, shedding light on the lengths to which those in power will go to protect their interests. In Mexico, the lines between wealth, politics, and corruption often blur, leaving many to question whether the rule of law can truly prevail over the influence of money. It's a sobering reminder that even in the face of public scrutiny, the well-connected often escape accountability. Number 1. United States of America. And now we arrive at our number 1 spot, the land of opportunity itself, the United States of America. It might come as a surprise to some, but the US, while not ranking as low as some of the countries on the Global Corruption Index, has its own unique dynamics when it comes to the influence of wealth. Here, money doesn't just talk, it roars, and it can grant you access to opportunities that might seem unimaginable elsewhere. Case in point, the infamous O.J. Simpson trial. Without the resources to hire an incredibly expensive lawyer, who, by the way, is none other than Kim Kardashian's biological father, the outcome of that trial could have been markedly different. It's a reminder that in the American legal system, having substantial financial resources can tip the scales of justice in one's favor. But it doesn't stop there. Consider the curious case of Ethan Couch, a teenager responsible for the deaths of 4 people while driving under the influence in 2013. His defense? A controversial term called affluenza, which essentially argued that he couldn't be held responsible due to his affluent upbringing. The backlash from the public was immense, but it highlights the notion that wealth, even in the face of egregious actions, can be a shield against the full force of the law. It's a complex issue that underscores the influence of money, not just in courtrooms, but in various aspects of American society, where the privileges of affluence can shape outcomes in ways both subtle and glaring. As our journey through these captivating and at times unsettling tales of wealth and influence comes to an end, we're left with a vivid reminder of the complex interplay between affluence and power. These stories underscore the undeniable reality that in many corners of our world, the rules are not the same for all. While some rise to astounding heights of wealth, others navigate a vastly different terrain where opportunities are scarce and justice can feel elusive. Like and follow our channel for more to come.